It started with a quiet evening. Children played in parks, people walked home from work, and the sun was setting over the cities. Suddenly, the sky darkened. Massive alien ships appeared in orbit, larger than any human technology could reach. They blocked the stars and reflected the fading sunlight, casting huge shadows over Earth. Commander Alex Rourke stood on the observation deck of Earth's orbital defense station. His eyes widened as the sensors lit up with the alien fleet. Each ship was bigger than the last, sleek, black, and glowing with strange energy. "They've arrived," whispered Lieutenant Mara Klein beside him. "They're enormous." Alex didn't respond immediately. He kept watching, analyzing every movement. "Not just enormous," he finally said. "They're organized, precise, and dangerous. Every detail about them screams control, and they expect fear." Below, people looked up in shock. News reports flashed across screens. "Alien fleet detected. Unknown intentions." "Stay calm." The words didn't help. Panic began to rise, but so did curiosity. Children waved at the ships. Some people laughed nervously, thinking it was a strange light show. In the command center, Alex addressed his team. "Listen carefully. They think humans are small, weak, and obedient. They think we'll panic. They think they can intimidate us. But humans, we do neither. We survive because we think, we adapt, and we act boldly." Mara frowned. "But Commander, their weapons. They could destroy us in minutes." Alex shook his head. "That's exactly why we don't fight like them. Humans survive by using brains, not just firepower. By acting when the enemy doesn't expect it. By doing what they cannot imagine." The alien fleet transmitted a message. Holograms appeared on every screen, showing a tall, glowing alien figure. Its voice was calm but sharp, translated instantly into English by Earth systems. "Humans of Earth," the alien said, "you have expanded into territories under Council protection. Compliance is required immediately. Refusal will be met with consequences." The room fell silent. Computers hummed nervously. Even soldiers paused, feeling the weight of the alien presence. Alex leaned forward. "Consequences," he said slowly. "They mean destruction. But they expect fear. And we will give them neither." Across the planet, leaders gathered for emergency meetings. The President of Earth appeared on global broadcasts. "People of Earth," the President said, "we face a threat unlike any before. Our planet is being challenged by a species more advanced than ours. But humanity has survived worse. Our strength is not just in our weapons, but in our courage, creativity, and unity. We will face this challenge, and together." Alex turned to Mara. "They believe size and firepower make them superior. They are wrong. Humans survive because we think, adapt, and act boldly. That's our real strength." Mara's voice was soft but firm. "So we're going to fight them?" Alex smiled faintly. "We survive first. Then we show them what humans are really capable of. We will not follow their rules. We will break them, and that is how we win." Engineers worked rapidly, preparing drones, satellites, and new defense systems. Scientists monitored the alien fleet, analyzing every signal, every movement. Every team on Earth was ready to contribute. Civilians, soldiers, engineers, and scientists alike. Alex watched the live feeds from cities and space stations. They expect fear. Instead, they will face cleverness, courage, and unpredictability. That is humanity's advantage. And advantage is power. Ravi Chen, the tech specialist, pointed at the alien fleet's schematics. "Commander, their weapons are far superior. If we fight directly, we lose," Alex nodded. "Exactly. But if we fight smartly, if we act boldly, if we do the unexpected, we survive. And survival is the first step to victory." The alien emissary's broadcast continued, warning humans to surrender. Alex pressed a button, sending a signal to activate Earth's defense systems. Drones zipped through orbit. Satellites adjusted their positions. Engineers deployed decoys. Holographic projections created the illusion of a hidden human fleet. Mara watched, amazed. "Commander, they're huge, but we're ready?" Alex's eyes gleamed. "We're ready. They think power alone can control us. They don't understand that humans survive because we are clever, daring, and unpredictable. Today they will learn that lesson, whether they like it or not." As night fell over Earth, the alien fleet remained in orbit, massive, silent, and observing. But humans were ready. They had prepared, analyzed, and planned. And above all, they had courage. Alex whispered to himself as he gazed at the stars. "They came to control us." They expected fear and obedience. They will get resistance. They will get humans, and humans survive. The alien fleet hung above Earth, massive and silent like a dark shadow over every city. Commander Alex Rourke stood in the orbital defense station, eyes fixed on the monitors. Each ship glowed with strange energy, weapons ready, engines humming. The humans below had little time to act. "They're waiting," Mara Klein said quietly beside him. "Waiting for what?" Alex shook his head. "For us to panic. For us to obey. But humans, we do neither." On the ground, engineers and scientists worked furiously. Satellites were repositioned, drones deployed, and new defense systems calibrated. Every device, every strategy was designed not just to survive, but to confuse and outsmart the Council fleet. Ravi Chen, the tech specialist, pointed at a holographic model of the alien ships. "Commander, their weapons are far stronger than ours. If we attack directly, we'll lose." Alex nodded. "Exactly. That's why we won't attack directly. Humans survive by thinking differently, by doing what no one expects." Mara raised an eyebrow. "So we improvise?" Alex smiled faintly. "Yes, improvisation is humanity's greatest weapon, and today we use it." In the command center, humans studied the alien fleet carefully. Every ship's movement, every signal was analyzed. Scientists suggested unconventional strategies: decoy drones, holographic illusions, and satellite interference. Soldiers trained for unusual tactics, preparing to strike unpredictably rather than meet the fleet head-on. Alex addressed the team. "The Council expects fear. They expect compliance. We give them cleverness, courage, and unpredictability. That's our strength," Ravi grinned. "So, we confuse them before they can even attack us?" "Exactly," Alex said. "We turn their confidence against them. Every order they give, every plan they have will fail if we act differently." Meanwhile, across Earth, civilians watched the alien fleet with awe and fear. But instead of panicking, many began to help. Communications networks were monitored, minor signals relayed to human command, and volunteers assisted scientists with calculations and observations. Even children watched, fascinated, waving at holographic projections of alien ships on screens. Mara laughed softly. "Commander, people are helping, and some are even joking." Alex's eyes twinkled. "That's exactly what makes humans unique. Fear does not control us. We adapt, we learn, and we survive, and often with humor." The Council fleet remained silent but menacing. Their energy shields glowed and massive weapons rotated slowly, scanning for targets. Every human action was being observed, every signal monitored. But humans were not predictable. Every defense system, every drone, every satellite interference was designed to confuse the Council. Alex leaned forward. "Remember, Mara, this isn't just defense. It's strategy. Every action we take must make them hesitate. Hesitation is weakness, and humans exploit weakness better than anyone." Mara nodded. "So we don't just survive. We control the pace of the fight," Alex smiled. "Exactly. Humans survive by controlling what others cannot. Today we will prove it." Hours passed as preparations continued. Engineers launched decoy drones into orbit. Satellites began transmitting confusing signals to the Council fleet. Holographic projections created the illusion of massive reinforcements that didn't exist. Humans on Earth practiced rapid coordination, learning to respond instantly to any alien movement. Ravi Chen tapped his console. "Commander, all systems are ready. The fleet is massive, but they can't predict us now. Every move we make will confuse them." Alex's eyes scanned the stars. "They expect fear. They expect obedience. They will not get either. And when they make their first move, humanity will be ready." As night fell over Earth, the planet glowed with lights from cities and defense systems. The Council fleet remained above, silent but observing. On Earth, humans worked tirelessly, preparing for the encounter to come. Alex turned to Mara and Ravi. "The Council thinks size and firepower are enough to dominate. But humans survive because we think, adapt, and act boldly. We will not follow their rules. We will break them. And that is how we win." Mara nodded, pride in her eyes. "So, when they strike, we'll be ready in ways they never imagined?" Alex nodded. "Exactly. Humans survive not by strength alone, but by intelligence, courage, and unpredictability. Today the galaxy will see the real power of humanity." The alien fleet moved slowly, massive ships casting shadows over Earth. Commander Alex Rourke stood at the observation deck, eyes fixed on the monitors. Every ship glowed with alien energy, engines humming with deadly potential. "They're advancing," Mara Klein whispered. "This is it." "The first strike," Alex nodded. "Yes, but remember, humans survive not by firepower alone but by intelligence, by unpredictability, by acting when the enemy thinks they control the situation." Below, humans scrambled. Satellites and drones were already in position, decoys in place. Engineers monitored alien signals, ready to adjust interference at a moment's notice. Soldiers prepared for defense, but the real weapon was cleverness. Ravi Chen, monitoring a holographic feed, said, "Commander, their weapons are ready, but they can't detect our decoys. They're scanning, but every target they pick is fake." Alex smiled faintly. "Exactly. Confusion is our advantage. Panic is predictable. Humans survive because we think, adapt, and improvise." The Council fleet fired the first salvo. Massive energy beams cut through space, aimed directly at Earth's orbit. Cities below lit up as defense systems intercepted projectiles, while decoys moved unpredictably through the shadows. Alien officers shouted orders, frustrated that their attacks missed every real target. On the command deck, Mara watched screens displaying explosions hitting empty space. "Commander, they can't hit anything." Alex leaned forward. "Good. That's exactly what I want. They expect humans to obey rules of war. We do not. We improvise. We survive." Small human drones darted around the alien fleet, projecting false energy signatures and holographic ships. The Council fleet struggled to identify real targets. Lasers misfired, shields flared unnecessarily, and internal communications became chaotic. Ravi Chen whispered, "Commander, they're completely disoriented. They don't know what's real." Alex nodded. "That's the beauty of human strategy. We survive not by brute force, but by making the impossible seem real. Chaos is our weapon." On Earth, civilians unknowingly assisted. Observing patterns, they relayed information to scientists. Fireworks, lights, and signals accidentally amplified the holographic projections, making it seem as though Earth had a massive hidden fleet. Every unplanned action became part of the human advantage. Mara shook her head in amazement. "They think we have hundreds of ships, and they can't tell which ones are real." Alex smiled. "Exactly. Humans survive because we make our enemies underestimate and misjudge us. That is our greatest weapon." Hours passed as the first clash continued. The Council fleet attempted multiple attacks, but every strategy failed. Communication breakdowns caused ships to hesitate or misfire. Every calculated move the aliens made was met with clever improvisation from humans. "Commander," Ravi said, eyes wide. "They're retreating." "Slowly, they're hesitating," Alex nodded. "Not because they are weak, because they are unsure. Humans survive because we turn hesitation into opportunity. We don't just defend. We control the pace of the fight." The alien emissary broadcasted another warning. "Humans, cease all interference immediately. You risk total destruction." Alex pressed a button, initiating the next phase. Drones swarmed, satellites scrambled signals, and holograms multiplied. The Council fleet wavered, unsure how to respond. They had underestimated humans, and now they were paying the price. Mara whispered, "Commander, they're off balance completely." Alex's eyes gleamed. "Exactly. Humans survive because we act when the enemy is confused. We exploit every weakness, every hesitation, every mistake. That is what makes us unstoppable." By nightfall, the first clash ended. Minimal damage had occurred on Earth, but the human victory was clear. The Council fleet hovered above, cautious now, unsure of what to do next. Alex turned to his team. "Today we survived, not just by defending, but by showing them humans cannot be predicted. We turned fear into opportunity, chaos into advantage. That is why humans always survive." Mara nodded. "So, the Council has learned their first lesson?" Alex smiled faintly. "Yes, and they will remember it. Next time they attack, they will hesitate. That hesitation is our shield." The Council fleet had paused above Earth, massive ships glowing in the night sky. Commander Alex Rourke stood at the observation deck, eyes scanning the enemy's formation. The first clash had ended and humans had survived. But the real challenge was just beginning. "They're hesitant," Mara Klein whispered beside him. "I've never seen them like this before." Alex nodded. "Good, that hesitation is an advantage. Humans survive because we turn confusion into opportunity. Now we take control. Ravi Chen, the tech specialist, pointed at the holographic display. Commander, we can scramble their targeting systems further. If we launch the decoy drones and satellites now, their fleet will be in complete chaos. Alex's eyes gleamed. Do it. Let's show them that humans don't just survive attacks. We dominate them with intelligence. Above Earth, the alien fleet tried to reorganize. Officers barked orders, but every command seemed to conflict with another. Their sensors picked up dozens of threats, some real, some holographic illusions. Ships flared as shields activated and deactivated in confusion. On the ground, humans coordinated the counterattack. Drones moved unpredictably, satellites sent interference signals, and holograms projected a massive hidden fleet. Every human action increased the aliens' uncertainty. Mara laughed softly. Commander, they can't figure out which ships are real. They're panicking quietly. Alex smiled. Exactly. Panic is predictable. Humans survive because we act boldly, think fast, and improvise. That is our true power. The first move of the counterattack was subtle but devastating. Small drones infiltrated the alien perimeter, creating false energy signatures. The Council fleet reacted as if under massive attack. Officers scrambled, shields flared, and their weapons misfired. Commander, Ravi said. They're recalculating every order. Their systems are jammed, Alex nodded. Perfect. Confusion is power. Humans survive by exploiting hesitation, not by attacking blindly. On Earth, civilians unintentionally amplified the effect. City lights, fireworks, and satellite interference created illusions of even more ships. Engineers monitored alien signals and adjusted projections. Every human action, even accidental, strengthened the strategy. Mara shook her head. They think we have an entire hidden fleet, and they can't tell the real ships from the holograms. Alex smiled faintly. Exactly. Humans survive because we make our enemies misjudge reality. That misjudgment is our weapon. Hours passed as humans executed the plan. The alien fleet fired missiles at empty space. Lasers hit decoys. Officers argued quietly, realizing their strategies had failed. Every move they made seemed to worsen their confusion. Commander, Ravi said, they're retreating. Slightly, slowly. Alex shook his head. Not yet. Let them hesitate. Let them think they might recover. Then we strike decisively. Humans survive because we act when the enemy doubts themselves. The alien emissary sent a broadcast. Humans, stop all interference. You risk total destruction. Alex pressed a button. More drones launched, more holograms appeared, and satellites scrambled targeting systems. The Council fleet faltered again. Humans were not obeying rules. They were creating new rules for the battlefield. Mara whispered in awe. They're completely off balance. They can't figure us out, Alex nodded. Exactly. Humans survive because we are clever, daring, and unpredictable. Today we are in control. By nightfall, the Council fleet was forced to retreat slightly. Massive ships moved cautiously, aware that humans were no ordinary species. Alex turned to his team. They came thinking they could intimidate us. They expected obedience. Instead, they faced intelligence, improvisation, and courage. That is why humans survive. That is why we always turn the tables. Mara's eyes shone with pride. So, the galaxy will see humans differently now? Alex smiled. Yes, and next time they come, they will hesitate. That hesitation is our shield. Above Earth, the stars shone quietly. The Council fleet had not been destroyed, but humans had gained the upper hand. The first real step in humanity's clever retaliation was complete, and the galaxy had begun to notice. The night sky above Earth was alive with motion. Drones zipped through orbit. Holographic ships shimmered like mirages, and satellites hummed as they scrambled signals. Commander Alex Rourke stood on the observation deck, watching the Council fleet carefully. Their massive ships were still powerful, but now hesitation was written all over their movements. They're confused, Mara Klein whispered beside him. They don't know where to strike next. Alex nodded. Exactly. Humans survive not by fear or brute force, but by intelligence, daring, and unpredictability. Now, we hit back harder. Ravi Chen tapped his console rapidly. Commander, all systems ready. Holograms, drones, interference grids. Everything. We can make them believe Earth has hundreds of hidden warships. Alex's eyes gleamed. Good. Then let's show them what humans are capable of. The first wave of human counterattack was subtle but devastating. Holographic fleets danced around the alien ships, confusing sensors. Drones moved unpredictably. making it impossible for the Council fleet to identify real targets. Missiles misfired into empty space, energy beams struck decoys, and alien officers shouted orders that conflicted with each other. "They can't aim properly," Mara whispered. "Everything we do is working," Alex smiled faintly. "Yes. Confusion is a weapon humans wield better than any laser. Panic is predictable, but humans exploit hesitation. The second wave was more aggressive. Small hacking drones infiltrated alien ships' communication systems, scrambling internal controls. Entire sections of the fleet misfired or froze. Some ships accidentally fired on allies, while others activated shields unnecessarily. Ravi Chen grinned. "Commander, their fleet is falling apart. They don't know what's happening." Alex leaned forward. "Exactly. Humans survive because we think faster than the enemy, act boldly, and exploit every weakness. That is our strength. On Earth, civilians contributed without knowing it. City lights, fireworks, and signals amplified holographic projections, making it seem like an enormous human fleet surrounded the aliens. Engineers adjusted interference patterns in real time, turning even small human actions into battlefield advantages." Mara shook her head. "They think we have hundreds of ships. They can't tell what's real." Alex smiled. "Humans survive because we turn perception into power. They cannot predict us, and that is why we dominate." Hours passed. The Council fleet struggled to regain control. Missiles flew harmlessly past real targets. Lasers struck holograms. Shields flared without purpose. Officers argued and recalculated constantly. Every plan they made was countered before it could succeed. "Commander," Ravi said, eyes wide, "they're retreating slowly. Their formation is breaking." Alex nodded. "Not because we destroyed them. Because they respect what they cannot control. Humans survive because we act when the enemy doubts themselves. Hesitation is power." The alien emissary broadcasted a warning. "Humans, cease immediately. You will face total destruction." Alex pressed another button. More drones launched. More holograms appeared. Satellites scrambled targeting systems. The Council fleet was in full chaos. Humans were no longer just surviving. They were in control. Mara whispered. "They're completely off balance. They can't respond properly." Alex's eyes gleamed. "Exactly. Humans survive because we are clever, daring, and unpredictable. Today we prove that Earth cannot be intimidated or controlled." By nightfall, the alien fleet began a slow, cautious retreat. Massive ships still loomed above. But officers aboard knew one undeniable truth. Humans were not weak, predictable, or easily conquered. Every encounter had shown that humanity was clever, adaptive, and fearless. Alex turned to his team. They came expecting fear. They expected obedience. Instead, they faced intelligence, improvisation, and courage. That is why humans survive. That is why we dominate when it matters most. Mara's eyes shone. "So, they'll think twice before attacking again?" Alex nodded. "Yes, they now understand that humans cannot be controlled. That knowledge is our greatest weapon." As Earth's cities glimmered beneath the stars, humans quietly celebrated their first real victory. Minimal damage, maximum impact. The Council fleet had learned the cost of underestimating humanity. And above all, one truth was clear. Humans survive not because of size or power, but because of intelligence, courage, and the ability to act when the odds are against them. The alien fleet hovered silently above Earth, massive and intimidating, yet now cautious. Commander Alex Rourke stood on the observation deck, eyes scanning the retreating ships. Their engines glowed, but their movements were careful, hesitant, almost respectful. "They're hesitating," Mara Klein whispered. "After everything, they're hesitating." Alex nodded slowly. "Yes, that hesitation is not fear alone. It's understanding. They're realizing humans are not just another species to control. We are unpredictable." Ravi Chen, tapping rapidly on his console, added, "Commander, their signals are changing. They're recalculating. They're acknowledging us." Alex leaned forward. "Good. Humans survive because we force others to recognize our strength, intelligence, and creativity. Today, the galaxy sees what we are capable of." A holographic transmission appeared across Earth's communication networks. The alien emissary's tall, glowing figure shimmered as their voice spoke in calm, formal tones. "Commander Alex Rourke," the alien said, "the Council has observed your species. We acknowledge your ingenuity, courage, and adaptability. You have survived attacks where others would have failed. Humanity is remarkable. We will remember this encounter. Mara's eyes widened. They're admitting it. They actually respect us, Alex smiled faintly. Yes, that's the difference between survival and obedience. Humans survive not by submitting to power, but by creating it. Today we earned respect, and respect is more powerful than fear. Across Earth, civilians quietly celebrated, still unaware of the scale of the victory. Scientists, engineers, and soldiers shared cautious smiles, knowing humanity had not only survived, but had forced a superior force to acknowledge their abilities. Ravi Chen shook his head. Commander, they're retreating, but they're different now. Cautious, respectful, even wary. Alex's gaze remained on the stars. Good. They know now that humans cannot be predicted, controlled, or broken. That knowledge is their warning, and our shield. Inside the council fleet, officers whispered among themselves. The most senior admitted privately that humans were unlike any species they had encountered. Plans that had seemed perfect now faltered. Every human move turned their strategies into chaos. Every expected reaction had been met with bold improvisation. They think differently, one officer said, voice tense. We cannot control them with rules or power. They adapt. They survive, another nodded slowly. This is not a species we can ignore. They are remarkable. Back on Earth, Alex addressed his team. Today, humans did more than survive. We forced a superpower to recognize our strength. They expected fear, obedience, and predictability. We gave them cleverness, courage, and defiance. That is why humans always survive. Mara's voice was filled with pride. So the galaxy has learned something important about us? Alex nodded. Yes, they learned that no power can dominate humans completely. And more importantly, they now respect us. Respect is a weapon humans wield better than any technology. The night sky remained calm, yet tension lingered. The council fleet, though retreating, continued to observe Earth from afar. Every officer aboard the alien ships carried a new awareness. Humans were unpredictable, intelligent, and courageous. Every future plan would consider Earth as a force that could not be ignored or underestimated. Alex turned to Mara and Ravi. They will return someday. Stronger, smarter, more cautious, but they will never underestimate humanity again. That lesson is our victory. Ravi smiled. Commander, humanity just earned its place among the galaxy's respected species. Alex nodded. Yes, but respect is earned, not permanent. We survive by thinking, adapting, and acting boldly. That is the essence of humanity. As Earth's cities glimmered beneath the stars, a quiet pride spread among its people. Humanity had faced a superior force, survived the impossible, and won recognition on a galactic scale. Mara whispered. So, the Council knows not to mess with us? Alex smiled faintly. Yes, and they will remember. Today, humans survived not because of weapons, but because of intelligence, courage, and the refusal to follow rules blindly. That is our true strength. Above Earth, stars twinkled silently, bearing witness to a new era. Humanity had survived, had fought cleverly, and had earned a place in the galaxy's mind. Not as a weak species, but as a force clever, brave, and unpredictable. And one truth remained clear. Humans survive because we think, adapt, and act boldly, even when the odds are impossible. The alien fleet had finally retreated beyond the edges of Earth's orbit, leaving silence in its wake. Commander Alex Rourke stood on the observation deck watching the stars. Their massive ships were gone, but their presence lingered in memory and warning. Humanity had survived, but more than that, they had earned respect. They won't forget this, Mara Klein said quietly beside him. Alex nodded. No, they won't. Humanity faced the impossible and proved what we are capable of. Cleverness, courage, and unpredictability. That's our real strength. Ravi Chen, still monitoring systems, added, Commander, Earth is intact. Minimal damage. Civilians are safe. The fleet retreated without fully striking. We did it, Alex smiled faintly. We did it because we acted like humans. We survived by thinking, improvising, and daring to break rules the enemy assumed we'd follow. Across Earth, life slowly returned to normal. People went back to work. Children played under the evening sun, and city lights sparkled once more. But behind the scenes, humanity had changed. Satellites were upgraded, defense systems improved, and scientists studied the alien technology to prepare for the future. Alex turned to Mara. They may return someday. But when they do, they'll hesitate. That hesitation Is our shield, Mara nodded. They thought power alone could dominate us. Instead, they faced intelligence, courage, and unpredictability. Exactly, Alex said. That is the essence of human survival. Not strength alone, but brains, teamwork, and boldness. The alien emissary appeared one final time via holographic transmission. The glowing figure's voice was calm but formal. Commander Alex Rourke, the alien said, we acknowledge your species' ingenuity and bravery. Humanity is remarkable. We will remember this encounter. Alex straightened. Thank you. And we will remember that the galaxy is full of challenges. But humanity does not back down, no matter the odds. The transmission ended, leaving a silence filled with pride and relief. Humanity had survived its first direct encounter with a galactic superpower, not by brute force, but by intelligence, daring, and teamwork. Weeks passed. Earth rebuilt, improved defenses, and prepared for the future. Governments coordinated, scientists researched alien technology, and civilians contributed in their own ways. Humanity had learned a vital lesson. The galaxy was vast, powerful, and unpredictable, and humans were ready. Alex walked through city streets, observing ordinary humans who had unknowingly played a part in history. Children laughed under the stars. Workers moved through busy streets, and soldiers trained diligently. Humanity had survived, and the world would never forget it. Mara joined him on a rooftop, looking at the distant stars where the Council fleet had loomed. Do you think they'll ever come back? Alex smiled faintly. Maybe, but if they do, they'll find humans ready. Smarter, faster, and more unpredictable. Humans survive because we improvise, think boldly, and act when the impossible seems inevitable. In the depths of space, the Council fleet regrouped. Officers debriefed with surprise and admiration. They had faced a species that could outthink them, confuse a disciplined fleet, and survive without firing planet-destroying weapons. Humanity had earned their respect. Above Earth, stars sparkled quietly, peaceful once more. Humans slept, unaware that their ingenuity, courage, and teamwork had sent a clear message across the galaxy. Earth's people were not to be underestimated. Alex gazed at the horizon. Humans survive because we are inventive, bold, and daring. Because we face impossible odds and still find a way. Today we survived. Tomorrow we will thrive, Mara smiled. So the galaxy knows what humans are capable of. Alex nodded. Yes, and that knowledge is our power. Our legend begins today. As night fell over Earth, the planet glimmered with quiet determination. Humanity had faced the Galactic Council and emerged victorious, clever, brave, and united. The galaxy had noticed. And one truth shone brighter than all else. Humans survive because we think, adapt, and act boldly, even against impossible odds. And with that, humanity's legend was born, not as a weak species to be dominated, but as a force clever, daring, and respected throughout the stars.